Okay, everyone. Time to move on to our next phase. Heather, pretty impressive stuff happening in the various spaces. Whilst we couldn't hear much audio, we could see a hive of activity and lots of physical prototypes being made. I know there were teams using 3D modeling tools, maybe some wireframing apps, lots of posters being created. Time for another energizer. Now, we're on the topic of food and nutrition security, and they say that music is the food for the soul. So I thought I might get everyone up and about and doing a bit of dancing. One of my fondest memories of PNG is going to Rabaul, visiting Karavat, and all of the teams, the school teams, actually showcased the traditional dance on that day, and we got to see everyone groove and move. So I'm going to get everyone to jump up out of your seats. I'm going to play a little bit of music. I just want you to get some energy in your bodies. It's been a big day so far. Get everyone up and moving. I'm also going to play a short 360 video of someone jumping off a cliff with a batwing suit just to raise the cortisol levels a little bit. So let's get started. Okay.
It might seem crazy what I'm about to say. Sunshine, she's here, you can take a break. I'm a hot air balloon that could go to space. With the air, like I don't care, baby, by the way. Because I'm happy. Clap along if you feel like a room without a roof. Because I'm happy. Clap along if you feel like happiness is the truth. Because I'm happy. Clap along if you know what happiness is to you. Because I'm happy. Clap along if you feel like that's what you want to do. Here come bad news, talking this and that. Well, give me all you got and don't hold it back. Well, I should probably warn you, I'll be just fine. No offense to you, don't waste your time.
A land. Thank you, everyone. No, thank you. I'm not jumping off a cliff in a batwing suit anytime soon. Okay, student pitch time. This is the opportunity to share your thinking. Share your thinking with everyone in your breakout spaces and to really pitch and sell what you have created throughout the day and how you've solved a problem in your community and created an innovative prototype. In terms of the way in which we run elevator pitches, we've been doing it now for 4 years as a part of our PNGAus partnership, and I know there will be people in the spaces that are familiar with the process. An elevator pitch is a 2 to 3 minute pitch, and you need to think about if you were stuck in an elevator with someone and you had only a couple of minutes while you're traveling to another floor, or maybe you're stuck in there for a little bit, who knows, how could you sell your idea to that person in that time before they leave? So it's a short, sharp, sizzling opportunity to sell what you have learned. And the work that I have seen come out of schools as a part of this partnership is absolutely exceptional in terms of your pitching ability and the skill set that you've developed over time. So this is your big showcase opportunity. In terms of the student pitch, there's a couple of things that I'd like you to consider when you are developing it within your team. I actually attended a conference a couple of months ago, and they spoke about the first 7 words and how much impact it can have. So I want you to think about what your first 7 words are and how they're going to convey your message and really raise the expectation of what's to come as a part of your 2 to 3 minute time frame. We've got a short framework that you can work with. So step 1, introduction, as I mentioned, your first 7 words. We want you to name your product, your process, or your action. I'm not sure if your team has come up with a name for your brand new innovation, but we would love there to be a snazzy, marketable name attached to it. Step 2, what is the problem? Think back to what you have done as a part of this design thinking. Who is your target audience? What is the problem that exists within that community? And how does your idea, your prototype, address the problem for your target audience or your customer? In particular, we really want you to think about how does your solution address food security and nutrition on a local, national, and international stage. And as a part of these pictures being shared as a part of the World Food Forum in Rome, we want to showcase the work that you've done and how it actually tackles this particular issue. Call upon your how might we question as a part of your pitch. We would love to hear what your driving question was that you've used to frame your whole discussion. Step 4, what are the features and benefits for your target customer? Heather mentioned this before. We really want to know, what does your prototype solution do to solve the problem for the particular customer? And also, we'd love to know, what STEM skills have you all used as a part of the development of that prototype? I can see it in action in the way in which you're utilizing various materials from your environment, various digital technologies, using the skills of your team to come up with some sort of minimum viable product which you'll pitch today. And lastly, let's finish off strong. A nice strong close. I'd like you to tell us, why is it amazing? Any good product has a marketable tagline. It'd be awesome if you could come up with something to really sell your product at the end. And what do you want your audience to do? What's your call to action? Often pitches are used to seek further investment, and the investment that we're seeking is the attention of the world at the World Food Forum. So in terms of your pitch, we really want to make sure that we have an opportunity for everyone to see, using this digital platform, what you are doing in your own spaces. So make sure that you stay in frame. It would be fantastic if you had a poster. Heather mentioned drawing your prototype and labeling it. We would love to see that poster. And the closer to camera that you provide that poster, the more opportunity the audience will have to actually engage with what you are talking about. So try to use some nice big poster size if you can. Make sure you introduce your team. We'd love to know which team members are pitching. It's really up to you. Sometimes groups will have every team member pitch and have their own part in that overall pitch, but sometimes you might leave your pitch up to 1 or 2 members that you think will convey that message strongly. Voice projection. I think as teachers, we all learn to do this over time, but throw your voice to the back of the room. We don't want you to be quiet as a mouse and talking down. We want you to stand tall, stand confident, look directly into the screen, into your audience, and share confidently. And the last thing is, this is such a fun, empowering part of the sprint process. Relax, enjoy it. And a really important person in my learning process around design thinking, Robert Pullman, taught me a little technique that you can take into the room before you pitch. So get your tongue, rub it along your gums. I don't know if everyone can see that, but just do that for a couple of rounds. And what it does is it just helps you produce saliva in your mouth. It's an opportunity to take the focus off your mind, calm your body. You could do the box breathing technique if you wanted. So just breathe slowly and go in, and we can't wait to see what you have all developed. So in terms of the Jamboard, okay, it's page 10 on your Jamboard. Once again, you can do this digitally, or you can use Post-it notes or paper or poster work in your own spaces. We're looking for 2 to 3 minutes long. So as you are developing your pitch, you are going to have to practice and time your pitch. Just thinking ahead, all of the facilitators and educators out there, while the students are organizing this process, we would love it if you could potentially ensure that the pitches can be filmed from your end. We would love it if we can have both the webcam view of a pitch, but also the in the room space view. And then when we cut the video together, we'll get a fantastic perspective of the prototype and the students' work. All right, it's off to you now for another 25 minutes, another furious session. Once again, you might not allocate your whole group to doing the pitch preparation. You might have a couple of members that are still working on that prototype, fine-tuning, making sure it looks amazing for the pitch. It's off to you guys, 25 minutes, and we'll see you then for the final pitch and feedback phase. Okay, welcome back, everybody. I'll get you to take your seats quickly. It's time for the student pitches. I want you to know that no matter what happens going forward, you should all stand tall and be incredibly proud of what you have done today. I know all of the facilitators in the background have been communicating on what we're seeing, and it's extraordinary. What students can do in a very small time frame given the opportunities. So as I said, stand tall, be proud, be confident. I wanted to mention, lastly, I know that we have various groups working in schools, some very large like St. Paul's, and some very small, only 4 or 5 students. It's really important to know that every group that pitches today will have the opportunity to present their work at the World Food Forum in Rome, and possibly seen by the chief economist, Maximo Torero. And I'm sure Dr. Yalinu Poya cannot wait to see your pitches. And unfortunately, Dylan Mail had to leave us at 1 p.m, but he can't wait to see them as well. As a part of the pitching process, it's really important that we cycle back and feed back to the group, because this may be the first time that they pitch, and some groups will walk away, reflect based on feedback, and then have the opportunity to re-video their pitch as a part of the showcase that gets sent to Rome. So this is a very, very simple framework that we use for feedback. I'm sure you may have used it before, but any student that is watching another pitch and a facilitator will think about what went well with that particular pitch. Even better if, what could they do to improve next time? What might be a leverage point or something to extract more information out of? And lastly, I take this from Kathy Kirby back in 2019 in Port Moresby. I used to think, but now I think. And it's an opportunity to reflect on how your thought process has changed, and you've been able to think deeper about a particular food security issue because of what's been presented to you today. Okay, the time is now. I hope everyone's ready. As I said, be proud, go in confident, tongues along your gums, produce a little bit of saliva, make sure that you engage with your audience, project your voice, speak confidently. We can't wait to see your pitches. I'll pass over to Nicole now to share the breakout spaces. The way it will work is there will be a 20-minute time frame. The time is now 25 minutes past 8. So 20 minutes in your breakout spaces with your 3 schools. Once your pitching and feedback process has finished, you will cycle back to the main room, just saying there will be an option to say return to main room. So it'll pop up at the top right-hand corner of the screen, which will take you back to the main space that we're in right now, and then we can go through a final reflection and closing remarks process. Over to you, Nicole.
So just while we're waiting for the others to come back, for those that are here in the room, I just wanted to share some of the insights that I experienced in the room that I was in. We looked at a couple of different solutions that were very, very localized. So really great suggestions, not only about whole communities and how they can learn from each other and a real cycle of empowering people, But in addition to that, we saw, specific targeted groups where the students looked at a particular target audience and they did something specific for that audience. And it really showcased the process that we've been through in making sure that those prototypes really demonstrated the learning for communities on how we can better manage food insecurity for the future and food security for the future.
I will give my own reflections as well. Just leveraging off what Heather said, that was an incredibly inspiring 20 minutes. I got to see how students, within a very short amount of time, really got to know their community and the issues that are present, and thought of very innovative ways to solve those problems. So within our group, we had some very creative prototypes. I'm really looking forward to getting some really nice close-up shots of those prototypes to see the detail that has got into them. Students that are thinking on the scale of states, large supply chains, to their own community, and thinking about circular economies and how we can recycle and reuse within their own spaces. Amazing to see. But we also had a prototype that represented a metaphor, which I haven't seen done before. So some really unique and creative ways about thinking how to solve food and nutrition security within communities.
There's 5 words that have come to mind with your ideas that have come through today. 1, insightful. 2, relevant. 3, engaging, particularly with the pictures that you've done. Purposeful. And the 5th one is, I can see the change makers. You are the ones that are going to change what's happening at the moment and bring those ideas to the fore. So we're really looking forward to working more closely with you.
I'd like to put the opportunity out to the floor. We haven't really given schools the opportunity to communicate through their audio in these particular spaces, but here is an opportunity for either students or facilitators to share to the larger group your thoughts. We sometimes use the connect, extend, and challenge framework to think about a particular activity in a deeper way. So if you're sitting there and you'd like to share what things connected with you most, what may have extended your thinking, and what challenged you, and what might you take forward from today back to your communities, back to your families and your own spaces. So the floor is open. Please put your hand out and we can just direct people one by one, but please be confident and proud, and we would love to hear from the individual schools or even the teachers if you'd like to share something. Mary, please go ahead.
Look here.
From the whole session today, I think we have learned maths, learned a lot of new things. As a young students here, we have learned a lot of new things and came up with our own ideas about this food security topic that we have been discussing the whole session, and we have learned a lot. And from our prototypes, we think that we will help to bring awareness and make everybody in this globe, and especially in our nation, to know this food security and to carry out the awareness so everybody knows and we follow and go by the rules on the sustainability of it and the environmental stability and the land mass, which we have discussed already. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Nicholas, are you there? I saw a hand go up from Cherrybrook. Would you like to say something?
Yep, go.
Yeah, we found the sticky note activity really helpful, really useful for us because like we got plenty of ideas and we got to choose which ones we thought were most useful.
Brilliant, thank you. Anyone else like to share? If someone's from St. Paul's, I know you had a very large group of students working in your hall today. Is there anything that you would like to share about the space and the energy of what you saw amongst many groups pitching and prototyping? Maya, I'm going to pass over to you.
We found it really useful today to be able to expand all of the steps to come up with one prototype. So putting everything into different ideas and relating it back to our main focus of today made it really helpful. Thank you.
Breaking up everything into like smaller sections actually helped deepen our understanding on different topics, whilst being able to like understand our own thoughts and creating one whole idea.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Breaks were also a really good idea.
Yeah, they were really fun.
Yeah,
we also
The
enjoyed
hand yoga.
collaborating with you guys. That's very good.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
And learning
Thank
from
you very
others
much.
around the world was so
Let's
good.
learning from you guys. Thank you.
And thank you very much. Is there anyone else that would like to share some final remarks? So Mary.
All right. One thing that really inspires me, it gives me an insight is like I can't recognize the importance of the food security until this day when I'm attending this session. That it really gives me the importance of how I should go about seeing the food in my community. So as a young person now, it's like a light shining through to a darkest place of my mind. So it's like I'll bring these things that the understanding that I have to see how food change is about in this day session. I will bring it about to help my fellow friends, my families, and especially the nation to help them, at least get to know what the food security is all about, and they can have a better lives to live, because our country it's rural, so a lot of our people have been illiterate. So I think this is a great program, and I think this was a very nice program that you guys has made it to us, and we were partnered. And we are very thankful with that, because it really helped us such from our background like this. So this will be like a help to make awareness to our people and help them to see the importance of food security, and also the questions that we went through really open up our mind to see solutions, and we look around we could see problems that we are having, like we are suffering silently, but we couldn't recognize until this program really helped us to see, and now we can know and approach them in a manner that could be friendly to the environment and help us in our lives. So we are very thankful, and for me myself, I'm very blessed to attend this program, and I hope we could do more, and that will help us to Thank you.
We have every opportunity to do more coming up. Jeffrey, I'm going to pass over to you.
Okay, thank you, Chris. I just would like to say something in regard to this afternoon session with my students here, and I believe it will somehow relate to all the other student participants around Papua New Guinea and Australia as well. But something that really connects to us today in Karabat is food. The importance of food. We most of the time take food for granted. We don't see the importance of food, and we think that we are the only ones that are here, and we have surplus food, and we throw away food and things like that. So we believe that with this afternoon sessions, we can look back and see and know the importance of saving food and trying to get food, come up with ways through critical thinking and design ways to at least try to help and save food to feed enough people in our homes. And having enough food is, I think, the best thing that we should have. So it's not that we don't care, but we feel that we have to help. We have a role to play in trying to help feed our population locally, and then by starting locally, we can also help, because in somewhere in the session, the world's population is increasing, I think 3.1 billion or something. And Papua New Guinea is 9 million people, Australia is 25 million people, and we can see the ratio of food to the increasing population. And in 2050, maybe if we all work together, now is the time. So I saw my students really thinking around it and critically trying to come up with ways in which they can also help with food security in our schools. So there are other groups. I saw some presentations from our room when we went into our breakout rooms. The IURO presentation and the St. Paul's, the St. Paul's presentation. St. Paul's did something to do with waste management, and that's very good. It's a common practice in our schools today, where we create a lot of rubbish and waste, but we have to look at some ways to make use of that waste. So there are a lot of very interesting presentations, and we've learned a lot from those presentations and from you facilitators as well. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Jeffrey. I'm just going to quickly go to Tim Osborne, who had his hand up.
Thanks, Chris. That was a really great opportunity. We had 23 different challenges that the kids came up with that have grappled with it, from everything from a very local perspective through to quite a global solution. And so, yeah, it just was a great opportunity to sort of work, and also to just, I guess, from our point of view, to hear other perspectives and understand. And I guess that's a whole part of the whole process, is empathizing and understanding the situations, and sort of then going, well, how can we make a difference? And that's very much what we sort of pose to our students, is that, you in 2050, you'll be 41. This is going to actually really impact your life if we don't do something now. And you're the custodians for that time. So, it's time. And I think from what we saw, we ended up videotaping all 23 of them, the pictures. So I haven't seen them all, but just to see, the different ideas and the new innovations in terms of their thinking. It's young thinking. So it's just been just a fabulous opportunity, and to sort of, to hear what, what other schools are thinking around the country and over in PNG. It's just been, such a, opportunity for us and our kids. So thank you.
Thank you very much for those reflections, Tim. Jackson, can I quickly go to you?
Thank you, Chris. Can you hear me?
Yes, hear you well.
Thank you. I have one student. He wants to say something about how he feels about this thing. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hi, my name is Junior. I want to say something about what we learned. First, we have a problem which is drought, and that make our minds too narrow. We don't know. We find some ways to bring water to our gardens and bring water, find water to drink as well. But through this STEM system, we have learned, and now I know that we made a project which is best, that I will bring to my community and to my friends as well, so that we can apply this, what we have learned, and we'll bring water into our school and community. And which first we don't have idea like to bring water into our community and those, but from now we from now we connect. From that we learn some things. For that I want to say thank you for that. And I hope we go further. We learn much more. I'm happy to be part of this team. That's all. And thank you.
Thank you very much, Jackson. We would love to hear many more reflections, and please, if you have the opportunity, share them as a part of the Google Classroom or within the WhatsApp spaces. We're going to have to move on. Heather just needs to launch the next phase of this exciting project.
Thanks for that, Chris. And when I was first introduced to this project, my initial thoughts were, how can we showcase how brilliant these students are and what solutions they come from? And as Junior just talked about how it actually impacts on his community, he's created something that he can share with his community about a solution for greater food security in PNG. So thanks for sharing that. So what is the purpose from now? As Maximo Torero said earlier in this presentation, he's really interested in hearing your voice. He wants to hear what you have to say so that he can share it with the decision makers in the world. So some of these will go to other countries, some of these will be used in our country, but all of it will be showcased at the World Food Forum in Rome in October. So what we're going to do from this point on, next Monday, we will be putting together a success, and if you can just go to the next slide, please, Chris. You'll receive a guide to success. So a lot of you presented today, and we may have had a little bit of trouble hearing you, or there was issues with bandwidth. Between now and the 8th of September, you can redo that pitch to a camera where it's a lot more stable and we can get a lot better vision about your prototype and also clearly hearing your pitch. So on Monday next week, we will be sending out to you a pitch guide and a guide for success. How can you make it improve on it? You might have got some great ideas from another group that you'd like to incorporate into your pitch or your prototype. So this is the opportunity now, between now and the 8th of September, to resubmit your prototype and your pitch via video to Nicole or Sophie, and we will be packaging that up, and that will be what we will send to the World Food Forum. For those schools that had numerous groups, like St. Paul's, who had 24, I think, groups, all of your pitches are valued. We want to hear every single one of them. So please send them in to us. We will package them up and they will be going to Rome in October. I might turn over to Anna for closing remarks, if that's okay, Anna.
Okay, thank you, Heather. And what an incredible day we've had together once again. I'm not sure how many of you were able to participate last year, but this year has been just mind-blowing. And I know Chris has already mentioned this, but through the sessions where you were prototyping, it was just an absolute gift for us to be able to watch you through the screens. So again, another gift having this technology accessible to us, because it means not only we can work as a partnership together, but you guys within your countries can also continue to be working in partnerships together and sharing these brilliant ideas and this brilliant learning that has taken place, not just today, but across many of our partnership activities. I'd like to just stop and say an extremely massive thank you for the investment that has gone into the design and the delivery of this sprint. And so Heather, Lisa, who's also been part of the design team, and of course, Chris, congratulations on a brilliant facilitation, and thank you for your energy in putting this together for all of our students and teachers. Just an absolutely stellar design. So be proud. We're certainly proud of you, and thank you for your energy. Of course, thank you to our global specialists, having Dylan, Dr. Yulinu, and Mr. Maximo Torero contribute today. Of course, gives us those really strong guiding points of evidence that we can continue to set and use as benchmarks for how we need to navigate some of these challenges that we have in our current environments. And of course, we cannot forget our beautiful Australia Awards team, Junior, Milka, and Medireta, and I think Aaron might still be hanging around somewhere. Thank you so much. These guys do an incredible amount of work in the background and probably the foreground. Many of you guys would have had lots of experience with them there. And of course, our Asia Education Foundation team. So Sophie Howlett, Nicole Bratchford, and Kathy, who's not with us today. Again, these digital spaces do not happen without you. So just an absolute massive thank you to all of the people who hold the space, the back end of the space together and the front end of the space. But greatest thank you to all of our students and teachers and principals and leaders who invest your time and energy in creating the space to connect on these really important partnership activities that help us understand more about each other as Pacific neighbours. They help us learn more deeply about how we can problem solve together, and they certainly inspire me to be confident in what our next generation holds and can bring forward into the future. So thank you so much, and is that us done? I might hand over to, thank you, and that's the end of our sprint for today. Thank you, everybody. If you'd like to thank your facilitators directly, feel welcome to get into the chat and say thank you to them. Otherwise, please feel welcome to hang up your call whenever you're ready. We will actually hang it up shortly too.
Thank you, everyone. Goodbye.
Thank you. Bye.
Thanks, everyone. Thank you, Anna.
Bye.
Bye. Bye, guys.
Say bye. Say bye again.
Thank you, Anna.